given that it's 5:37, I will call to order the reorganization of the Wyndham Northeast Union Elementary School District. And so, are there any adjustments to the agenda?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none. Any communications or public comment? I will acknowledge that Mr. Jack Breyer is with us, and he's served as a board member for many, many years, and has decided to step down, but we are eternally grateful for your years of service, sir. Thank you very much. All right. Well, being the reorganization of the board, I will accept nominations for chair.
I nominate Pastor Noyes.
I have a nomination for Pastor Noyes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Let's get a second. Are there any other nominations?
Hardy called me and asked me if I wanted to be chair, so I don't know if he got any information back to you guys, so.
He had relayed that to us, but we would need
Oh.
a nomination for that. He's not here, so he can't
Okay.
make that nomination.
Very good.
So. Any other discussion? If there is none other, I can accept we'll close nominations, and I can accept a motion to cast one ballot for Harold Noyes.
So moved.
Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
Okay. I guess we'll take a vote. And, so, Rachel? Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Lynn?
Aye. Aye.
Heather? Mr. Noyes?
Yep. Whatever.
You'll accept it?
I'm all set.
All right.
I'm all here.
Then I will pass it over to you, and the meeting
Okay.
is yours.
All right, can we have a nomination for vice chair? I recommend Kathy.
I'll second.
All right, any other nominations? Been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so Kathy is the vice chair. Election of the clerk.
What does the clerk do?
Who
Is
was that last
Would that be
year?
Kim Record, or is that?
Well, your district clerk is different. You have a clerk of the clerk of the district records what happens in the district meeting, but your clerk here signs off on papers for your if you have a vote or contract, she signs it along with the chair, and she's responsible for making sure that the minutes are published.
Who was that last year?
So, wasn't it Kim Record, or?
No, so it has to be someone from
Had
the
been
board.
somebody from the board,
Someone
yeah.
from the board.
Okay.
I believe it was. I believe it was Lynn who.
All right. Lynn, okay.
Yeah.
So, can we have a nomination?
I'll nominate Lynn Morgan.
I'll learn what I'm supposed to do this year.
Yeah. All right, so Lynn's been nominated. Someone second that?
I'll second.
Any other nominations? All right, let's take a vote. All in favor for Lynn being the clerk?
Aye.
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 Okay.
And just so you know, we borrowed this just as this template, and you already do have your district clerk and your district treasurer, so we can.
Okay, so
so D, E, and F can act. Well, the only one is F if you want to appoint
An assistant.
an assistant treasurer, but other boards have chosen not to
Okay.
in that sense. So.
And what is your desire? Just to let it go, not have a assistant treasurer?
As I explained to other boards, that we ran into an issue last year when the business manager left, and just we had to do changeover of signatures, and that's when it became an issue because for one of our districts, the treasurer was out of state, so
Yeah.
it was challenging. So we were able to extract the assistant treasurer, but I think that, that can, be addressed if that issue ever arises
Okay.
again.
We can
So,
elect one
Yeah.
as needed.
Yeah,
Later,
You
okay.
also, sorry, you also have, you have your current district clerk and your district treasurer positions. You can hold those, you can do them now, but you can also hold them off and have your district meeting whenever you have it. Select those people, because I think right now that your district clerk is both your board clerk is, she's Kim Record, and your district clerk is Rod Lawrence. I believe that's correct. And so you can do it tonight, or you can put it off. Either is okay as long as you do it before May, because that would be a full year since your last district meeting.
Okay, so what do you desire?
I'm
to
just
do?
a civilian.
I couldn't quite hear it all, so we don't have a district
We
clerk?
don't
or
appoint
district-
You have your district meeting nominates a district clerk. That the district clerk, all they do is take the roll and make sure that votes of your district meeting are accurate. Your
Oh.
district treasurer is the name on the bottom of the checks.
Mhm.
And that your district treasurer right now is Rod Lawrence. And again, you could nominate one, you're able to do that, but you could also put it off until your district meeting, but that's, your collective call.
So what is your delight? You wanna do someone tonight, or do you wanna hold it off till our next meeting?
It might be advisable to check with the current treasurer if they want to
Yeah.
continue on
See
with
if one
that,
of them's
Yeah.
you know, just
Sure.
to,
Okay.
so if we can
Okay.
delay that, that would,
Mhm.
All right, let's delay those. E and F would delay.
yeah.
All right, we need to appoint 3 members, right?
Yes.
Voting members to the WNESU board. Anybody want to do
Typically,
that?
you as chair serve as one of those, and then there's the 2 other seats, so.
Okay.
Lynn, were you one of the other current voting members?
I am,
Do
Yeah,
you want to
she is.
continue that?
I can.
Yeah.
But Pastor can't
Yeah, actually,
be a
if there
voting
there
member
are,
because he works Wednesday nights.
yeah, that's on Wednesday.
Okay.
So does that mean he can't be the chairperson?
No,
No, okay.
no.
We just vote somebody else.
That's why I say it's just typically,
Yeah.
Okay.
my
Yeah.
experience has been, it's been the chair's been one of those members.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotcha,
So.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind being a voting member.
What's
I
that?
don't mind being a voting member.
Okay, so you got Kathy,
Rachel, you want the other one?
Lynn.
What about?
So typically,
Party mayor?
typically the SU board meets once a month. During budget season, we might go into 2. So that's the only time it meets. This last year it met the 3rd Wednesday of the month. By policy, it's supposed to be the 4th Wednesday, so tomorrow we'll have to figure out, are we gonna stay on the 3rd or the 4th? So, and the other request that I've had with the other boards is if the district boards can have their primary meeting in the first half of the month, so that we're not jam-packed, because this last year, they had their primary meeting at the second half of the month.
Right.
And
Everybody.
it was 2 weeks of just straight meetings, and so, trying to separate it out. So typically, you might, if you were doing that, you'd be looking at, doing this meeting on a Thursday, and then, either the next Wednesday or the following Wednesday, one of those would be the SU one, so. Just to let you know, full on what you're walking into.
You okay with
so.
that, Rachel?
I guess so.
Yeah, okay. How do you know who's doing not coming to this meeting? We should put him in.
He always comes on, would always be zooming in on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether he was a voting member or not.
Right.
So.
Okay, so typically we
How do we-
have a truant officer, right?
Isn't it the police department?
Is that the Bellas Falls Police Department? or
So,
is
well,
that
no, so
It's Wyndham
we're
County.
recommending Wyndham County Sheriff.
Sheriffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can
So-
I just go back to voting members a minute?
Mhm.
How do we know that Hardy doesn't want to be a voting member? Do
He
we know
was,
that?
he was last year a member.
You can certainly do it instead of me. It's fine.
And that's something you can,
Because
again, you can hold off, as
I
chair, you don't
Yeah.
have to appoint tonight. I mean,
I was
Okay.
gonna nominate him, but he's not here. No.
Oh, he's-
So you want to just do the two for now, and then at our
Okay.
next meeting, we can...
Well, we have a SU meeting tomorrow night,
Oh,
so, but you can appoint someone, and then if they, what others, what you can do as a board is if, let's say Kathy were unable to make it, as a board, you could, like, she knew ahead of time she wasn't
Yeah.
gonna be there, then as a
Have
board,
somebody
you
fill
can, you can,
So like an alternate?
an alternate, but you can't really appoint an alternate ahead of time.
right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, that's the only difference.
So in an emergency, we'll call on you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So we'll put Hardy.
So truant officer would be Wyndham County Sheriff.
Yep.
Um, As far as for warrant signers, Hardy was one of those. If you're looking for a recommendation, I would recommend to keep Hardy
Hardy.
there, because he's done a great job of,
Yeah.
just paying attention to that, but I'm not sure, were you, Jack?
I was,
previous?
yeah.
Okay.
You need somebody soon
I
too,
was
because there's
doing it as
papers
well.
there that need to be signed, like tomorrow.
Yeah, the other boards have had it where any member can come sign, but we need two primaries to at least initiate the request to, so.
I don't
Yeah.
mind continuing.
Okay.
Headland.
And the only thing we're asking is, we're gonna try and get requests out Wednesday and have warrants ready for sign on Thursdays.
No.
So a little, just because we've been running into some issues with checks not getting to
Mhm.
vendors and stuff like that when they need to, so that's the only ask we have there.
So just the two will be Hardy and Lynn?
Yeah, and then you could appoint that
Appoint someone.
that anyone can go, so
Okay.
that way,
And they do that at the supervisor union office, or?
Mhm.
yes.
Okay. All right, Jay, set time and date, location, regular monthly meetings.
As-
Usually it's on Thursday, the
The fourth Thursday.
fourth Thursday?
So my request is if it could be on the second Thursday, be your primary meeting,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and, because that was your alternate day.
Okay.
But I don't know if that doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
That's my
I have
ask.
select board the third Thursday, so.
So this will work for you?
Huh?
This will work for you?
Yeah, second works for me, fine. How about with
works
you,
out.
with your select board, when's that?
Those are Mondays,
Those are Mondays, okay.
first and third.
All right, so second Thursday, all right with everyone?
Yeah, that should work.
Do you want,
If worst comes to worst, they're still gonna be by video, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah? And what time?
We're doing 6.
6? 6 okay with everybody?
And I would assume at the Grafton School.
At the Grafton School? All right, so second Thursday, 6 o'clock, Grafton School. Newspapers, is that the Brattleboro Reformer?
That is our primary, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll be the primary one. Everyone set to adopt Robert's Rules of Order?
And I apologize, I should have asked that this, with an adjustment, if we could just adopt Robert's Rules of Order for small boards,
Yeah.
which would
Okay.
then allow you to not have seconds.
Right.
And allow you a little more freedom of discussion, as opposed to,
Right.
and we'll make sure everyone gets a copy of what the difference is, because I think we put a Robert's Rules, but we'll make sure we get you the small boards.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, because you don't need a second for that.
I think that's in that, though you emailed us out.
Yeah, I just can't remember if it had small boards in it, so, okay, good, all right, thank you.
All right, going down to committee assignments, building and grounds.
I'll stay on that one.
Lynn,
How many people are on each committee?
Wasn't it 2?
So
There was only
typically,
one on this one, and then we all ended up being, everyone from all the different schools got together.
so you have two, you have the SU,
Mhm.
like SU has building and grounds and budget and finance and all those things. And
Yeah.
then you as a Union Elementary also have those committees as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Some boards have decided like for budget and finance, they would be a committee of the whole. So every
Yeah.
time they're talking about finance for Athens and Grafton or the Union Elementary, it's everybody's involved as opposed to just 3 of you or something of that nature. I guess I would recommend, given the size,
Mhm.
you're gonna do most things together
Yeah.
anyway, that you kind of look at building and grounds and maybe budget and finance that way,
Right.
but
Yeah.
have a point person who would be your SU point person. That's how we kind of
Oh.
phrased it. So like if Lynn, if you wanna, you've been that kind of person with the SU point
Yeah.
person, but everyone's invited to those meetings
Okay.
as well, so.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I like that. It always seemed odd having a building and ground committee of one person.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand how that
Part of
worked.
that was a non-too subtle way of trying to encourage a lot of these decisions on budgets and on buildings and grounds to be decided by the SU as a whole, or at least
Yeah.
get a lot of the groundwork done, with each board having sort of a final say, but at least you got, one team looking at everything. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way going forward, but that was the concept.
Okay, so Lynn would be the point person, but it'd be the whole board as a unit, and also with the budget finance, I would recommend Hardy to be
Yeah.
there for that for us, the
Uh-huh.
point person.
with the teacher and support staff negotiations, you do need to have one person that should be a part of that. Just before anyone throws their name in, Krista.
Well-
No. We will be going into negotiations with the teachers this coming school year.
My only concern with that is I'm afraid that might look like legal advice. Like, does that?
I understand. I was joking when I
Oh.
threw your name out
No,
there,
'cause-
but you would be. Yeah.
You'd be-
I don't think that. That's. I don't know about your license, and that would be.
Because I just have to get approval just from my work, and so I'm just nervous that if I am saying that I'm assisting in the negotiation of a contract, just because I am a labor attorney, that very quickly bleeds into an appearance of
Yeah.
legal advice.
So again, you could defer on that one too, if you want to check and,
Yeah.
and find out, and you can appoint someone at a later date, because we're not going into negotiations tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just my concern. Is my work is very much like you cannot give legal advice.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Why don't
so
why don't we defer that for now, and if
yeah.
if you find you can't do it, then, I'd
Yeah.
be willing to try that, so,
Okay.
but I prefer you to do it.
Yeah. Well, in that vein, though, I did check about the policy committee, and that was fine.
Okay. I put a question mark on there.
The SIP is the Continuous Improvement Plan. The state's been playing with the name a
Yeah.
little bit, and so we've been operating under what's called a recovery plan. Hopefully, we're going to come out of recovery at some point. I think, Lynn, you were a part of that. Were you not on that?
No, I don't
Who
think
was?
so, no. I don't know who was.
I don't know who was that from this.
Yeah, because I called Jack this morning and asked him, what is the CIP program?
So it basically, it's our goals that we're working on towards our curriculum, our academics, our all our initiatives. So the nature-based, the work-based, SEL stuff. And so we would meet 3 to 4 times a year to just review those. Are we on track? Are we continuing on with those? So.
Kathy, would you be?
Yeah.
Yeah, because with her expertise there, I would think put Kathy in that. Then on the policy,
I was hoping, sorry, go ahead.
you want to be on that?
Mhm.
All right. Everybody all right? Chris to be on that policy?
And again, all of these are open for, we post them, so you're
Yeah.
welcome to
Yeah,
come
anybody
and
who wants to, I mean,
learn more about it and put your 2 cents into, because it's always helpful to have, you know, that other perspectives.
Would I-
but a lot of the policy ones are really, by the time it gets to us, all the other,
So
Yeah,
what,
but
again,
accepted them,
that's that SU piece where we try to coordinate everything at the SU, because the policies are basically adopted by all the schools. And then if there was something that was very specific for Grafton, that you would be a committee as a whole, again, doing that.
and we did
That
that last
policy.
meeting,
Right.
having to do with the size of the classroom.
Correct,
Uh-huh.
correct.
Right.
So your policy might differ a little bit.
Right.
But we try to start with that overarching from the supervisory unit.
But that comes before the whole board, so,
Yeah.
you know.
It isn't bad to have somebody with a legal background at least be one of the members.
Yeah,
because,
well, Krista said that she can be on that one.
Quick question for the staff negotiations, would there be any way just to get a write-up of like what that does? Because I can get permission from my work, but I need to just have something to be like, I am not the attorney and I am not giving legal advice. So is there any
Yeah.
way to get like a written description of what my responsibilities would be? Because I can submit that to my work for approval. Just because I'm covered by their malpractice insurance, they are very adamant
Oh.
about like,
Yeah.
you
There-
can't do
There also
anything.
may be one voting in, somewhere in the system.
Okay.
Because I did committee descriptions back last year.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we'll dig for that, that's fine.
Okay, and once I get that, I can submit it to get my work approval, but that's just because I'm covered by their malpractice
Yeah.
insurance, I just have to get them to sign off.
Okay. All right. But you would have no trouble being on the policy one?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Everybody okay with Chris to be on the policy? All right.
Audit. I have audit.
Where-
on that
Yeah, what?
What's audit?
one. I have it on mine. Audit.
I don't have any of that.
Oh,
E.
it's on mine. Oh, I have
This
it.
is different than ours.
Yeah, huh.
Okay.
Audit. She's an audit in hers. Do we
Yeah,
have an
audit.
audit?
Oh, you're looking at the SC one for tomorrow night.
Okay.
So that brings up a topic that,
We need to get these acronyms so they're
well,
not
we,
so closely.
we'd like to look into and maybe suggest, to see if the district can rename itself in some way. I don't know what the legalities are about that. Do you know, Jack?
Yeah,
Just while you're here?
you
But
you
then
have
isn't there the
to,
whole
you have to
issue?
decide whether it's Athens Grafton or Grafton Athens. That actually was the stumbling block the last 2 times. But it would come before, you have to have it on your warning.
Depends on what town you're from.
For your district, for your district warning, and have the community vote on it, because essentially it's your charter that you're amending, so they have to do it. So they have to approve it.
The town has to approve it?
Not town, district. The
Okay,
district
district,
has-
okay.
Yeah, because you're essentially changing your legal document, and frankly, you've got some other things you probably ought to change at some point, because what you've got is kind of the mess that they left us when they consolidated us. A lot of that language is still in there. We made one change at the last meeting, clean up a lot of it, but I didn't get everything.
Okay.
And I think we might want to, let me check with there's another district up north that just renamed themselves. And let me just check with that superintendent, because there might be an ideal time to do that renaming, right? Like, as we're coming into the new school year with the new software accounting system, right? Making sure, because I don't want to.
Ideally, you would do it as on your July, effective your July.
yeah,
1.
That's what I'm thinking, so, but let me just find out the process they use, because I think that would help clear up some of the, because I know that happened that's happened throughout the year, so.
So we can discuss that maybe at the next,
Yep, we can put it on there and.
put it on the agenda
Yep.
for next meeting? Okay.
The only other thing that, and I just wanted to bring up, it's not on here because we just got it yesterday, was there is a annual meeting that board chairs and the superintendent have to go to, but it's open to all members. It's put on by the Vermont School Board Association. It's in person this year. Last year it was virtual. But I believe it's sometime in May.
Yeah, it's, there's a pre-webinar on May 10th from 4 to 5 p.m. In-person training on May 17th from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Hilton Burlington Lake Champlain, and a post-webinar on May 24th from 4 to 5.
So that will, because it's a mandatory 8 hours of training, so that's where that comes from. But it is open to any board members if they want to go. So if you're interested in going, we're gonna send it out to everybody after
Yep.
the reorgs, and then we will sign people up if they want to go.
Okay. But that, you said that is a mandatory thing that we have to go to?
Board chair does.
Yeah, for chairs.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other?
That's all I have, so.
Okay.
I'm out there.
Anybody else have any new business that needs to be taken care of?
I have a question on, maybe it comes under new business. The ARPA money that's gonna be, was it 20 million or something dollars? How is that distributed between the smaller schools?
So, out of the 3 grants, we got a total of $20 million.
Okay,
And it was based on, there was no, like, distribution by, like, size of school or whatnot. It was based on how can we use the money throughout the entire SU to enhance or to, as we're buying, like, PPEs, we weren't like, well, there's only 39 kids at Grafton, so you only get this much money. We just bought PPE type of stuff for everybody. Or when we were looking at, doing things with social emotional learning and bringing on an interventionist, it wasn't, well, Grafton, because you have less kids, you only get a part-time person. We were trying to bring on full-time people, at every single building. So it wasn't distributed out that way. And then as we got into the ARP money, which is the last one, we started breaking down and looking at, and that's on our website, all the different projects that
the
different schools
priorities,
had,
yeah.
and then trying to prioritize that, so.
well, my fear is that you've got some board members that want to designate a lot of that money to the high school. And I'm concerned about that because this is a small school and we have priorities too with our
Mhm.
building. And we need to meet those needs. And it should not be taken away from another larger school like the high school. Jack?
Actually, I know Carol's supposed to do the recognizing, but.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I can tell.
Sorry.
Oh, she's the vice chair. She can-
Yeah, well, that's true. One of the reasons why we have the buildings and grounds meeting together and really focusing there is because it is a SU allocation, and the idea was that we'd have buildings and grounds members from all the districts look at all the facilities and really make some collective decisions about what the priorities are. A lot of those, we've had 2 rounds of that. I don't know who's going to chair that committee, but the idea was that it would be based on where are the most pressing needs. And yeah, there was some sense that the most damage in terms of things that need to get fixed was in this facility. That's something that you all would jointly work out, and if you count the votes, and you should, you'll note that Athens Grafton has 3 votes, and Westminster has 3, Rockingham has 3. You really do have, you're in a strong position to negotiate that, and that's not an accident, and that's the other reason why I had all that consolidated there, so to make sure that your voice was as strong as it could be.
And did you not hire, a person to
Yep,
do
we have
that?
we have a
And are we
project.
supposed to be getting some information on that soon?
Yep, so I'm meeting with him on Thursday. His name is Stephen Horton. He's our project manager. Some of the, where we're trying to prioritize right now, and that's what we're gonna be working on Thursday, is the HVAC system here at the high school was originally quoted at $2 million. It's now closer, if not over $4 million.
Mhm.
So we have to look back at the project, and do you scale back that project, or do you go forward with that project? And so there's also a lot of projects that buildings want done that are not ESSER related. So something like painting the building is not something that would be approved under ESSER because there's no COVID relation. The boiler we put up for approval, it was denied because we're not enhancing the system or anything. It was just replacing it because it was getting old. So the money's not designed just to replace, but it's actually to, so there's, because it's federal money, so now you get stuck with those federal rules, so.
Yeah.
So you say enhance instead of doing the same thing again? The boiler? Can't you enhance it to a better, efficient
Put
boiler?
some fans
It-
out there.
It's possible,
Well,
so that's a project
You
that
gotta
we.
check it out. Just can't say we can't do it. I mean, it's something to look into. I would suggest that on, maybe not the next meeting, but future meetings, is what are our priorities that the board needs to know.
Kathy, speaking of, I don't know if we set the agenda for the next meeting. I know you've been keeping track of that punch list that we had from.
Yeah, I brought it.
I don't know if we want to,
We need to look at that.
if we want to do that the next meeting, like put that as a,
Punch list?
yeah, Kathy. So at our town meet, I don't know what to call it, the meeting where we had community and parents
The
come in.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't the district meeting. It was like a
Okay,
community
community forum?
feedback.
Forum.
Yeah,
Yeah, community forum.
Kathy had kept the punch list that we put together of what the feedback was of things that people want to be improved. So I know one thing was like with the health class, for example, we don't have someone currently teaching, I think, health or sex ed at the elementary school level. And so there's a whole list of things that people gave feedback
People
on.
also
Issues.
took notes on that, and there's also
Yeah.
still floating around a copy of the whiteboard stuff,
Yeah.
so.
So I don't know if we have to set like the agenda now for the next meeting or like how that works, but I think that would be a good thing to go through, especially as we're gearing up for a potential district meeting in a few months to be able to present what we've implemented.
Well, why don't we put it on the agenda for next time and
Yeah.
at our next meeting, and then at least we can start the ball rolling
Yeah.
on it, and, we don't have to finalize anything next meeting, but at least we can get the ball rolling on it and
So
see
maybe
what.
the following meeting, I'd like to have Gary come in
Yeah.
and
Fine.
talk with us
Yeah.
about, what needs to be done.
So I'm meeting with all the maintenance folks and the principals on Thursday, because we are gonna be beginning to put together a facility strategic plan.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna start again at the SU level, but
Yep.
each building's gonna have to build their own strategic plan. Because a lot of it is, it's on a piece of paper somewhere, or someone's
Yeah.
got, but there's no outline plan. And we wanna be able to advise and recommend that if there's surplus monies, where do you spend it? Or are we gonna put our money into, to fix some glass, but we should be saving money to do the painting kind of thing? And how long, how much money do we put aside, or do we, as we get into budget season, do we add more money into a capital improvement line so that we can do certain projects? Because there's just, I think a lot of it's just been done on a regular basis without really a long-term planning. So that's what we would like to get to a point to do.
So since you're meeting on Thursday, then there should be something,
We should have something, yeah, to
at
come
least
back.
tentative,
We-
for when we
yeah,
meet
we're-
on the
we're-
second.
Yeah, we're outlining some things, so.
Okay, so Andy will bring that to us at the next meeting. Any
Now,
other questions?
Is that a meeting that the buildings and ground persons should come to, or is that just?
You're
you?
welcome to come. because originally it was supposed to meet before Thursday, so we hadn't invited anyone, because the boards wouldn't have been reorganized at that
Yeah.
time. We just had to move it because of the storm.
Yeah.
So, that's why it's on Thursday, so we will, but I'll get it out. Now we know everyone will be here, I'll shoot you an email,
Okay.
just
This will
with an
be an
invite.
evening one?
It's at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock,
because
can't make
The
that.
maintenance guys
Yeah.
do long days, and I wanted to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good, good.
Is that gonna be on Zoom?
It will be Zoom, so you can Zoom in too,
Yeah,
so.
well, I
yeah.
have to do my taxes in Keene that day.
All right.
I'm booked. Unless I get back early.
Yeah, okay. But maybe Kathy can
Get
zoom in.
that in
if
Grafton
you-
if you need
This
some help.
Thursday?
Pardon me?
This Thursday?
That's this Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. And you can get in touch with Nicole or somebody for the, what you need to zoom
Yeah.
in.
Get the agenda or whatever,
Mhm.
Zoom link.
Okay. Any other business? New business discussion? Any old business? We have director's comments. Welcome. We want to welcome you, that is for
Yes.
sure. So, welcome you. Also, hope things work out all right with Hardy and his wife, that's for sure.
Are they home or in the hospital or what?
I don't know, all I know is that there was a
'Cause I
medical
called them,
emergency,
I
so,
didn't get an answer.
so,
I called them back to them.
but just let them know we're thinking about them, that's for sure. Kathy, do you have any other?
No, it's good to
Comment?
meet and get, you know, another year and.
Ready to get the ball going?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm excited about it.
You all set?
I'm all set.
Kristen?
I'm just really excited to be with everyone. Nice to see Jack here, even though he's retired. And so, just a warm welcome to Rachel. It's a really good group of people
Yep.
to work with.
I'm excited to have Rachel with us too and such, so. Ready to work with you guys, all right? We'll do the best we can for the school, that's for sure. All right, someone make a motion, we adjourn?
So moved.
All right, don't even need a second. Not the
Our
fools.
next meeting is, what?
Next meeting will be the second Thursday, whichever date that is.
April 13th.